Hey.
Welcome in everyone to the Friday Regards. First of all, I got to start this off with probably a apology on my side. For one, I tried to end the stream last week, and we still have a couple shows I got to make up for. So I do apologize to Dan and to Walt for messing up the time, date, and the scheduling on this. And for anyone catching this afterwards, and anyone that watched last week, I apologize for the confusion. So here we are again. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man?
Good, man. Good.
We're getting a little worried about you not showing up there, Walt.
I know. Was that at the last minute? I'm like trying to hang up the phone. I'm like,
what did I say, Dan? I said, well, he'll probably show up about 15 seconds before the stream starts. So
yeah,
yeah, that was a photo finish.
It's because he's got that girlfriend now,
Yeah. More important things.
Hey, wrapped around his finger.
Yeah, big time.
Oh gosh, you guys. So how's it going, Dan?
Oh, another day. Glad it's Friday and done and over with.
Yeah.
How's the storm?
You're kind of on the same journey as me and Ryan. The beginning of the content creation and those first couple of 100 subscribers and everything. And I thought it'd be cool to have you on and kind of hear what's like been, in so far and kind of your growth and the companies that you gravitate towards. You tend to use or review lesser known companies. So I thought it'd be cool to have you on, just kind of talk to you about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I hit my first 100 earlier this week.
Congrats.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I felt pretty proud of that.
Yep, that's awesome.
I just think 100 people want to hear what you have to say. That's pretty damn cool. That's how I look at it.
That's true. That is true.
And your reviews are good. I like your style as far as just very cut and clean cut and kind of go into it. No fluff. So it's good.
No, I went into it. No bullshit. I don't, what would be the phrasing? I'm not going to get on my knees for companies to give them a good review or any of that. It's just my opinion, and that's the thing, is it's my opinion. What works for me might not work for you.
Yep, absolutely.
I forgot you can't see the comments either, Dan. So there,
no.
Congrats in there, and Chris has got to put his 2 cents in there too.
It's like just saying Chris is at 5,000. We all should unsubscribe now.
Yeah.
That'll put a dent in there. 5 down.
Yeah.
Beard.of.the.North. What's up,
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Vato? So how long have you, before you actually launched the channel, how long were you kind of deciding on whether or not to do the reviews?
Oh man, actually, when I was a little younger, I'm a big gamer, and I had toyed with the idea of getting into YouTube for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I started gravitating away from that when I had my family and my daughter and my wife, and I didn't really have time for it anymore. And then I started growing my beard and getting into the beard companies and gravitating into that. And I was watching, I think it was Brandon from All Things Bearded.
Yeah.
I was watching his reviews, and then I, started finding out about some of the other guys, Dan and Ken and all those guys, and started watching some of their stuff. And I was like, how hard could it be?
Right. Right.
And I've always liked, making video and editing. Nobody seems to like editing but me, apparently. And
we're kind of the few guys that actually enjoy doing that part. I mostly don't like the recording part.
Yeah, I get, I I get too critical of myself when I'm recording. I restart the video 5-6 times just because damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you just like completely like brain fog, or you can't like you can't put your words together. You start on a sentence and all of a sudden just dead. Just dead air in your brain.
Completely forget what you were gonna say. You're sitting there staring at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you tend to gravitate towards the more traditional sense and everything, and then you also tend to use a little bit lesser known companies. Has that always been there, or have you kind of like, did you start with like Beard Octane, like the bigger companies, and then go that way, or you've always been kind of a very small batch type of person?
Well, as far as in like companies that I was using, or companies that okay.
Both.
I started out with a random, YouTube or Google search on what would be the best beard oil or whatever. And I found a company called Zilbahar. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. And I started using it. And I was, okay, I like the feel of this. It was unscented though, but I started getting, into Instagram, following more and more with that. And at first I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of, I was one of those guys that was like, this is stupid. Who puts shit in their beard? But then I fell into it. And I would say Detroit Grooming was probably the first company that I started with. And they were the ones that I did my first review for.
Yeah.
And then I just fell down the rabbit hole. Now I have a giant collection that I'm always adding to.
It's like you don't really understand. You really don't understand why people do the beard oil stuff until you actually try it and do it yourself, and then you're like, okay, now I get it. And yeah, it's a great hobby. That's definitely. So
yeah, Aaron, sorry to cut in, but
No, go
Aaron,
ahead.
sorry about that, brother. Something better is out there. So he said he didn't get the job. So
oh man, I'm sorry.
everything happens for a reason. I want to thank everyone who wished me luck.
Aaron, we'll talk later.
Well,
I can get you something.
Good luck on the next one too, Aaron. So
yeah, I think that's the
luck.
hardest part for a beard company is to grab that bearded, unoiled person and say, hey, put this in your beard. And it's like, oh, I've been growing my beard for 30 years. I don't need that crap. You know what I mean? Like they don't, and then they do it and they're like, oh wow, like it can do that to this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Beard Oil Awakening, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it.
That's how I felt. I should have done this sooner.
And that's what a lot of people say.
The only part about it is when you get to a certain point, you're like, man, I bet I could have paid for my car with the money I blew on all this stuff.
Yeah, it is a costly hobby, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But you're supporting
it's enjoyable.
batch company, so
There's so many different
Yeah,
carriers out there
enjoyable.
and so many different blends, and everything works different for a different person. Like we've said this 100 times, what works for me is not going to work the best for Dan, or might not, or so you gotta try all those different things and see what works best for you.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's a trial and error.
I kind of look at it like it doesn't matter how big the company is or how small, whether it's a guy in his basement or somebody that's got facilities with employees or whatnot. If they're trying to make it, they're putting their time and effort and their money into making this stuff. Why not give them a shot? They at least do all that. They deserve it.
One thing I will add to that, though, is safety is important. And this goes to anyone that's going to try to even start a company. Make sure you're thinking about safety, because what goes out there to the public can come back to you if you're not handling it the right way. So safety is a huge thing. So for anyone out there wanting to start a beard company or even wanting to try something, look into the company, do some research on the product before you try it. That's one thing that gets me these days is no one knows what they're using. No one really looks into stuff before they buy it. Know the product. Know what you're using before you buy it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
very true.
See Chris's comment about
Yeah,
Sheldon.
Yes. And does he approve?
Yeah, Sheldon gave the approval. She gave him some cactus and he ate it. So I think that's about as approval as you can get.
She buttered him up.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, you're funny, man. So it's funny is I was looking at this company. I think it was Outlaw Beards, and they had got like a sample pack, and I'm like, yeah, this is really a cool company, kind of small batch. I haven't heard anybody using it or trying it. I kid you not, 48 hours later, there was a review from Dan out on this company. I was amazed. I was like, how does that happen? But when you're looking for those smaller companies, you're able to find some gems that no one's heard of.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you hear something about something you've seen 100 times, but you've never really looked into it, and so then you get Ryan's view on it, and after you watch Ryan's take, you might get a little more interested and watch Dan's take on it, so it's important to have these reviews. Definitely, it's important for the companies and for the consumers.
Yep.
One thing I was going to ask you, Dan,
Nice thought.
I was looking over your IG, and I noticed you had a list on there of, I don't know how many companies were on that list. There must have been 100 and some. I don't know. How many of those companies have you gotten around to trying?
Oh man, I made that list on a whim because that the thought of every company kind of deserves at least one shot. And yeah, it's 2 columns, 2 pages, front and back, and I'd say I've probably made half of one of the columns gone, maybe.
It's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. My biggest problem with it is I get hooked on a company and then I keep going back to them. Because I have a set budget that I go by, and once I use that, it's, well, I guess I'm not getting to that one this month.
Yeah. Seems like there's so many beard companies starting too, and like Etsy. You go on Etsy and look at beard products, and it's just
Full
a list. So and that's where they actually have some good companies there. Oh, that's a hell of a list.
That's the list I made.
That's awesome.
There's a page 2 to that too.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a page 2.
Yep.
Wow.
That is impressive.
And I didn't do it in any specific order or anything. I didn't have like, okay, I want to do this one first, the second, third. It was just, I started right.
Nice.
And I was pretty impressed with the feedback I got from that, actually.
Does Chris know you too well, or what? I know I know mine will if I go over budget with some certain things. So
yeah, Chris, he likes the dynamic between me and my wife. She's not afraid to talk shit about me in the lives. Or not talk shit about me, but give me shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds like mixed wife.
That's good though.
Yeah.
you can.
It means you guys have a
fun.
healthy relationship.
Yep, exactly.
What's a budget?
I like that Hanyaker shirt. So
Hey,
if
Mel.
anybody
Hi, Mel.
knows, Dan is an affiliate for Hanyaker. That was his first affiliate, which is a nice company to be representing. That's really cool.
Yeah, Adam's a really good dude. I enjoy talking to him. He's a down to earth, I'm no better than you type guy. I just make the stuff, and if you guys like it, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Remember
one
one
company I haven't tried yet, but I've heard great
Okay.
things about Adam. He's
Oh,
a
he's so
people
cool.
person.
I told him I didn't like one of his scents, and he
Yep.
thanked me for it. I was like, "What?" He's like, "Thank you for being honest." I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Yep,
So-
that's what he wants the most. Is he told me, if you tell me you like everything I have, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well,
If anybody's not subscribed, if you go to Beard.of.the.North on YouTube, you'll be able to see all the content that he's loading up there. You're doing about one a week, I guess, ish.
yeah, I do about one a week, given my time frame that I've got. I wanted to at least be somewhat consistent with it.
Right.
Yep. That's good.
And
So
it all depends.
yeah. So you tend to
Just-
gravitate towards Hanyaker, kind of more of the manlier kind of traditional sense. Have you started dipping your toe into the more unique scents that are out there, like bubble gum or food scents or whatever?
Food scents and sweet candy scents. I've had a few of them, and I can't do them.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on them. It's my personal preference. But in my last video I did, I started getting into somebody that makes a lot of off the wall scents, and I would say Jolly Old Fan, Bam.
Oh yeah.
Man, he makes some crazy shit. And and the funny thing is, you read the profile and it's just, how is that going to work? And then you try it and you're like, well, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I actually like it, and it works.
I saw one he did was it did have like a car freshener scent in it, included in it or something like that. It was like black ice.
Yesterday he released his Batman series, and the Holy Shnikes has Christmas tree, which is actually supposed to represent the car freshener from the
Right.
movie. He's got chicken wing sauce in there.
Like
Chicken
buffalo?
wing sauce.
Buffalo wing
Yes,
sauce?
buffalo chicken wing sauce.
That's impressive.
Hey, Ken.
Hey Ken. Hey Dan.
Up there, Ken.
Hey
And-
Ken and Dan
Hey, Dan. C.
Hey, Dan.
and Mel.
Thanks for stopping, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. thanks for
So
stopping by.
I don't know how I feel about the chicken wings. I mean, I think it's cool to push boundaries and try different things. Like if a year ago someone said that like a beer scent would smell good, I wouldn't have believed it. And then you've got Oh Yeah from Bam, who's got a beer one with margarita, and then Bearded Coast has one as well. And they're fantastic scents. They're really good.
Yeah, I've just recently started getting into Bam stuff. I won the collabs. He had a raffle that we were doing, and I had won the 5-pack of his collab scents, and I got the Oh Yeah and the Seaster and the Jester and a couple of the others. And that was kind of where it was. He does some crazy stuff, and I actually kind of like it.
Awesome. Yeah. So are you still just kind of mostly focusing on the scents, or do you start like getting to like collecting, like, okay, they have like, for instance, like Bam has like one, it's like the Wizard of Oz series, and like you want to collect all 4 of the Wizard of Oz series. So you get like into that stuff, or do you just mostly like more about like, okay, that scent sounds good, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that?
I'm still into the, I'm gonna buy what I think I'm gonna like.
Right.
I don't know. I did a couple, when a couple of those companies did the 50% off, I was kind of, well, and I pulled the trigger and pretty much got everything they got.
Yeah.
And I thought there are some scents in there that I didn't like, but I got them anyway.
Yeah.
But I still feel I'll gravitate towards just getting the stuff that I like for now.
Because like Black Rebel Beard Co. He has the 4 Highwaymen and some people might not like, you know, a certain one because it's got patchouli, for instance. Just throwing that out there. And you know, yeah, I mean, they get it because it looks cool, kind of collecting them all, you know, and have them kind of on your shelf and displaying them.
Yeah, some people want to have everything, which that's their thing. I have the subscription service to Black Rebel, so
yeah,
I've got everything that he's put out since the original Sasquatch. And there's really only been one that I haven't liked that has come out of that subscription service, and it was because it was a very sweet scent, and I didn't like it all that much. My wife didn't like it either, so that was kind of the headway to say, you know what, why don't you get rid of that one? So I was nice enough to give it away to somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You know, you see these companies and they're putting out consistent scents monthly, and it blows my mind how they're able to do that. You know, and it's got to be kind of nerve-wracking. It's like, okay, well, I got a week left to come up with a new scent for this month, you know, and you're trying to figure out what to mix with what, you know.
Someone must have said leather 3 times. We got 2 leather heads in here.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, where's Emu at?
Someone must have said leather 3 times.
Who's that on the screen in the middle? I know, right, Andrew? The infamous Gentleman Prime.
Yeah, so kind of talk, you know, if you don't mind, kind of go through like what it's like for you to record your reviews and your testing. If you have a system that you kind of have as far as testing it and then eventually going into making the videos, do you jot stuff down? Do you just more kind of run off of memory?
Oh, it depends on if I'm going to review multiple scents in that video. But if I'm just doing one scent, I like to give it a good week, that I use it every day, give it a thorough, you know, usage. And then on the weekends, I'll start going through, you know, finding out information. I like to kind of give at least a short just background on the company and the owner. So I'll talk with them and kind of get some info from them, and then get all the information that I get for, you know, the carrier blend, the scent profile, all that stuff. And I've got a notebook that I kind of jot everything down, bullet points, and sit down here for 4 hours trying to make a, you know, 10-minute video because I can't get the video going because I stuttered at one point or I restart. Like I said, I'm too critical of myself sometimes.
Are we all?
Yeah.
Yep, I'd be like that too.
The worst is when you pronounce a word and you don't realize you pronounced it wrong until it's too late.
Well, you've never done that.
No,
Oh.
no.
Nice. Nice.
Hey, there we go. Thanks, Blue City.
We're getting some
Thanks,
subscribers.
Rocco, for putting that out.
I just subbed you on the Bearded Regard channel too. So
So while we're talking about subscribing, Beard.of.the.North launched his own channel too this past weekend. So give him some love too. Also, while you're on subscribing to Beard.of.the.North, we can also do that too. So
you met Bruce City, right?
Bruce City, yes.
Bruce City, yeah.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to meet him and his girlfriend Rebecca, who is RH in here as well, Tuesday at dinner. So really good people. It's an honor to meet them.
Andrew says, I feel you with the stuttering. I've had a full-blown anxiety attacks with the slightest mistake. Yeah, anxiety.
Yeah.
So that makes a good point. What's been some of the toughest things that you went through starting your channel? Did you say that already, or?
Oh, some of the toughest. Just getting the balls to just do it. You know, especially when I was at first, everything had to be perfect. You know, I had myself on a pedestal of how it should go, and I think it took me like 2 weeks just to get that first video going out. And now I look back at it and I'm kind of like, God, that's cringy.
Yep, I found the same thing, man. I look at myself and I'm just so like, it's like I'm just talking. I feel like I have like, you know, I'm frozen from the neck down, you know, or something. It's just really awkward, you know.
Yeah, it's like what Ken says.
Just hit record.
Yep, just hit record. Yep. Sometimes I've caught myself. I just hit that record button and I'll sit here for 30 seconds to a minute. Just, all right, that's how we're going to do it. And then I'll start talking. And then sometimes if I mess up, I just keep going. I don't want to restart, especially if I'm 5 minutes into it or something. Yep. I just tell myself, you just edit it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I usually get mad and then I'll start talking to myself in impressions and it just gets bad and I'll go back and I'll do the real takes and I'll start laughing at myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep all the cringy awkwardness and me being like a really goofy dork. And I kind of keep that in there.
Yeah, I've noticed that in your recent videos that you've been doing, Walt, that you add that like stupid, funny stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Just that's what makes a good video.
Yeah. You know, I realized I can't be, you know, like another reviewer. You know, I got to be who I am. And I'm a kind of a goofy dude, so might as well just lean into it, you know. So
I've had it where I've gotten, like Andrew said, you know, anxiety attacks and stuff. I've had it where I've been sitting here and I can't get my shit together. I'll actually walk away, go do something else for half an hour. Then I'll come back.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of things. You can be like that with daily life situations. If something's eating at you, just walk away from it for a little while. I do that with my bookwork all the time. If I'm stuck with my book somewhere, if I walk away and come back to it, it'll usually come right to me. And it's like, why didn't I see that before? But you know, you see things differently when you come back to them in a different light.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I do it in sections. So like, I'll do the first part of it and then I'll stop. And if I'm not feeling comfortable, then I'll take that break and reset, and then I'll continue on, and then so forth and so forth. So it's not all at once.
There you go. You only live once. Yep. Laugh at yourself and enjoy.
Yep.
Never stop learning and growing and have fun with it. It makes it so much easier when you're doing it because you want to and not because you feel pressured to do it. Yes.
Exactly. That's actually why I took a break for a week there. I was dealing with some family stuff and I was like, I really need to get that video out. And then it was Sunday afternoon and I was just kind of like, you know, who cares?
Yeah. Especially when this is supposed to be fun. You know, it's not fun if you're stressing out and you're trying to force yourself and to pressure yourself into doing something when it's just not working that day.
Hey, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny?
Exactly. I don't like feeling like I'm pressured into it or trying to rush to get it done because then I feel like I did a shitty job.
Right. I agree. Yeah, it's you want to be more critical of yourself, I think. Or at least for me, that's how I end up being. If I feel like I'm pressuring myself to get something done, I tend to kind of put it under a microscope and, you know, and start like picking out things that I normally wouldn't bother with.
Yeah.
So, prior to your reviewing, you joined the Beards of America, and you're actually a recruiter as well. So that's another thing that you stay pretty busy with. What's that been like?
Actually, they're pretty much the reason why I really even got into the beard community. Actually, because when I got on Instagram, it was just kind of one of those platforms that I just had it to I had like 2 pictures and I pretty much I followed like a couple hundred people. I had like 30 followers. I was pretty much just on there looking at titty models, really. And that's pretty much all I ever looked at it for. And then I started growing my beard and started getting into that on Instagram. And then their recruiter at the time messaged me, and he said that I had a good-looking beard, and if I had ever considered a beard club. I was like, I thought it was a joke at first. Like, there's actually clubs out there for this. And then I started chit-chatting with him. I figured, why not give it a shot? And then I started talking to Cody, one of the co-founders, and yeah, I joined up with them.
Nice.
And it's a good group of dudes that you just sit and you can chit-chat with any of them, and it's easy to talk to any of them. The charity stuff that they do, it's a lot of fun. Just, I don't know, I never thought I'd have closer friends over the internet than I would in real life, because I hate people. So yeah. And then their recruiter had stepped down for some health issues, and we had gotten another one, and for whatever reason it wasn't working out with him, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, yeah, why not? I'll take on a bit bigger role, I guess. And yeah, here I am now.
And they do some pretty good things, right? They do like fundraisers and different things like that.
Yeah. As of recently, it's been kind of silent because everybody's kind of got a lot of their own shit going on. And so it's just been kind of just chit-chat back and forth. I know that Cody and Christian, the other co-founder, they're working on stuff behind the scenes and whatnot. But as far as some of the charities or any of the raffles that we were doing, we've kind of slowed down on those.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll pick back up once our guys start getting their shit together. We just had a couple of guys come back from some hiatuses.
Question from Ken. Where are you from? You're in the Midwest, Dan?
I'm in the Midwest. I am right on the southern border of Minnesota and Iowa.
Okay.
I can piss in Iowa from my yard.
That's very close. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're right up here with me then. I mean, I'm not too far away. I'm in central South Dakota, so I'm not too far from you.
Are you somewhere around Sioux Falls?
I'm 2.5 hours basically west of Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Right on the interstate. So if you're ever traveling I-90 this way, make sure and let me know.
Yeah, actually, for when I got married, my
are you still up there, Ken? Ken's up in Wisconsin right now. So
he liked it so much he decided to stay.
Did he?
Oh, nice.
But when I got married, our honeymoon was we just got in the car and drove. And we went west towards into South Dakota, and we stayed on I-90, stopping in small towns here and there, looking at shit.
Stopped at my gas station.
We made it out to Mount Rushmore, and then turned around and came back.
New Ulm, I know where that's at too.
Yeah, New Ulm is about an hour and a half or so north of me.
What's the craziest thing you've seen up there? I think she's talking to you, Dan.
Craziest thing I've seen up here in Minnesota. Yeah. I've heard of a lot of crazy shit, but as far as seeing, I'm pretty much a hermit. I go to work and I come home, and like I said, I'm not a fan of people all that much. So,
Right now between
we see a moose that comes by once a year almost. I don't know if it's the same. It can't be the same moose, but yeah, that's about the craziest thing we see around here. That's how exciting it is here in the middle of South
Is J.
Dakota.
Cruz chasing that
Wild
moose?
moose.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was-
I don't know. That
was
maybe
three
that's why
states.
he's on the run. I don't know.
You know, we actually are.
No-
We kind of
no
reached
wild
an
bears?
interesting. What's that?
I said no wild bears.
No, no bears. Haven't seen any bears.
Vato's insistent about this question. If two vegetarian guys have a problem, would that be considered a beef?
Yeah.
It's a bit
That's a
corny.
good one,
Uh,
Vato.
Yeah. But you know, we're reaching a kind of an interesting time of the year as far as beard content or even just the beard community, because it seems like right before it hits fall, it kind of quiets down a little bit, you know. And then when fall, and all of a sudden that kind of like those holiday scents and like the Halloween scents start coming out. That's when, and like the fall scents, that's when it kind of starts picking up again. But it just seems like things have gotten a little quiet.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I stay on the outskirts of, because you know we have all that drama that tends to go on sometimes in the beard community and the high school stuff.
Yep.
And I tend to stay on the outside of that.
Yep. It's the best way. That's what we do.
Yep.
But
It's okay
You know,
when things are quiet.
what's that?
It's okay when things are quiet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually okay with that.
We've got a little, I don't know what you call them, flock of turkeys that comes through town. It's like 12, 15 of them that just come across the highway. Yeah, that actually will stop traffic. These turkeys will stop traffic on the highway.
Yeah, they don't give
They
a
don't-
shit.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
I
there's
see turkeys almost every day when I drive home.
Yeah, there's a
Peacocks,
pretty
we don't
big
see
flock
many
of
of those.
turkeys. Yeah, there's 3 peacocks that live in our neighborhood too that run around. They chase some male lady around.
So James,
So James. Sheldon disagrees, Walt.
those are some loud birds. I tell you what.
They are very loud. One of my neighbors, when we were growing up, they had about 6 of them on their farm. And they're pretty birds, but they are loud and annoying.
Mhm.
Yeah. They call a lot of stuff. So one thing that I remember, you know, people don't know that me and Dan, we chat back and forth and do video chats sometimes, and he
Not as of recent.
I know but you know why.
And you know why, and I know why, but I won't call you out on it.
Yeah, all right, well, we'll get back to that, that's for sure.
He's been too
But
busy for us to.
the Norse stuff is really cool. How did you kind of get into all that?
Oh, that's a long, complicated story.
Yeah, it's not for here.
Well, it's all right. I was raised Christian, Catholic, Christian, heavily, and I don't judge anybody on their beliefs or nothing, but when I got to the age of reason, I stopped believing in that, and I was atheist for about, I would say, 15 years, and just something happened in my life to where I started seeing things differently, and I started doing some studies, and I converted to Norse paganism, and I love the culture, I love the mythology, I love everything about it. And I guess that's kind of where my portrayal of it comes from.
Okay. And
That's cool.
is there certain things about like that you feel that you're more drawn to in parts of it, or I mean, because it's just a really unique kind of following, you know, and it's not something that's commonly like, yeah, you see it on TV shows and everything like Vikings, and you see different things kind of reference it, but it's really its own type of thing, and just it's really a unique thing. Do you know a lot of other guys that you are able to discuss this with, or is this kind of something that you've just always kind of done on your own?
I've done a lot of it on my own because there isn't a whole lot of that around my area. In my area, there's a lot of, it's very Christian based here.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of it on my own. I do a lot of my studies on my own. I have kind of tried to reach out a little bit to some different groups, I guess you could say. Actually, Cody is Norse pagan as well. He does the same following as I do. It's a lot of book reading, a lot of studying, and it's a never-ending learning path.
Yeah, I agree, Brew. It is very like that whole vibe, and just the progression of it, all the way from back when it was the Vikings and everything, and how it's come to now. It's really unique.
Yeah, there was a lot more to it because I was fascinated with it before I got into it, and when I started learning more and more and more, I was, man, this is something. And that's where my sword came from. I know somebody said something about my sword video earlier. That was a bucket list item, I guess you could say, a must have.
Yep. I think the having those different things, like I think like it's like that include like the drinking horns and all that different type of stuff like that. I think is really cool.
Yeah, just to clarify, Vikings did not drink from the skulls of their enemies. That was not a thing.
Yeah.
What?
I think they a lot of times
ruined it.
TV
That just
tends
ruins
to
it.
exaggerate stuff.
Yes, they are very heavily exaggerated on some of the aspects of their lifestyle that they had. Like even down to their their helmets that they wore. Everybody thinks that it was horns, and there was never horns. A lot of like the show Vikings, they portray them in like all dark leather clothing, black. It was never that way. They were really drawn to like bright colors. They were more into fashion than you would think, actually.
That's cool. I didn't know that. You have this idea of like these like you said, like wearing dark colors and being kind of more noir, macabre type thing, and yeah, you wouldn't think that they'd be more lively than that,
And it's just because people were more drawn to the modernization of their brutality, of their raiding and all that stuff, which they did that shit, but that's more emphasized than what their culture was really like.
Yeah. Have you thought about reviewing any of that type of like stuff, like like products that you might get that like the sword and stuff like that, doing more of that type of stuff, or you think you're stick with the rub your beards at the same time? I don't have a good one to do that.
He just comes in the most spontaneous moments and just throws those wrenches at you. Every stream, every chat.
Yeah. Oh, he's funny, man.
T-Rex.
Yeah, his reviews are really good.
But yeah, I have considered, that was kind of part of what I wanted to do with my channel also, but those type of things are a lot more expensive than beard products. So
Yeah.
I think I've tried to set a budget on some things that I do. I've got my beard budget, and then I have my stuff for my Viking stuff, my Norse stuff, that a lot of it I can make. I'm actually in the process of making a staff. But as far as buying stuff, it's very expensive.
Now, I may be mistaken, but Chris that was in here, I don't know if he's still in here or not, but doesn't he make like horn cups?
He's actually learning to be a bladesmith. He's been practicing at a forge under somebody as an apprentice.
I saw something. I don't know if it was at Chris or somebody. I saw somebody recently post on IG that they received a horn drinking cup from somebody. And I thought it was Chris. I may have been mistaken, but I thought that was really cool.
I don't know. I know he's been trying his hand at making mead too.
Cool.
Yeah. Mead's a really cool and interesting drink. It's got a lot of history behind it. You know, I'm surprised you don't hear more people making it, you know, and
It's a long, tedious process.
Yeah.
It takes months to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, he did one that had like peppers in it and stuff like that. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's his ex-wife mead is what he calls it. It's good going in, but it sucks coming out.
Right? Oh, man. He says some funny stuff, man. He's an entertaining guy, that's for sure.
He is. He is, but he wears his heart on his sleeve, I will say that.
Yep. Yeah. You know, I think stuff like blacksmithing, woodworking, and just such unique things that you don't see done very much anymore. It's like those things are like lost arts, you know. It'd be great if people could put down the video games from time to time and reignite, you know, things that aren't always done as much, you know.
That's because our society's lazy.
Yeah.
That type of stuff takes a long time to perfect, and most people these days want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Even just getting off your phone and jumping on some live streams and interacting and socializing with some people, you can still be on your phone and still be socializing and doing something a lot more self-building, I guess, and enlightening than you know, some of the stuff that's out these days, you know. And video games are great at, you know, I'm not, no disrespect video games. I love a video game now and again, but yeah, you get stuck in that, it seems, and it's tough to pull yourself out of those places sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. I used to have nights where I played video games for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, I had to get away from that. That's part of the reason why I got into woodworking, and like leatherworking is pretty cool too. Just things that you're doing with your hand, you're taking your mind off of like your everyday stuff, and you know, and just creating something with, you know, that you made. Like you can take raw lumber and make a table out of it. You can take, you know, pieces of leather and make a wallet out of it, you know, and you can use it then, you know, so it's rewarding. It's like you play a video game, you know, and you shoot some guys and you win the game, I guess. I mean, I guess that's rewarding too, but you know, that doesn't last, you know, so.
Yeah, working with your hands, it's one of those things that, like I said, it's not an instant gratification kind of thing. Some things take a long time to create, and like I said, I'm making my own staff that I've been doing, and there's so much that, I mean, it took me like 2.5 hours just to cut all the bark off of it that I wanted to get it shaped the way I wanted it.
You're gonna carve it.
Is there a specific wood that you use for that, or is it like, does it matter what type of wood you use? No,
it doesn't matter. I happened to find the perfect shape of a branch that had actually fallen out of the tree, and I just started going away at it. And yes, the more I've learned that certain woods, certain herbs, all that stuff is good, and because, you know, my wife, when I told her that I was going to become Norse pagan, the first thing she said, "You're not going to get into like witchcraft and stuff, are you?" And it was a serious question,
right?
Because that stuff is very involved with that too. And I told her, no, I don't plan to go that far.
Well, the reason I asked that too is some of those things might be symbolic. You know, a certain type of wood, or might be some symbolism behind it.
Yep. There's a lot of symbolism with many different things, and you know, just the paganism itself is, you know, just being one with nature. You know, and appreciating it, which a lot of people don't do anymore.
There's Sea Breezy. What's up, Sea Breezy?
Oh, God damn it. I was hoping he wasn't going to get here.
Calling you out on the dirty bandana.
Bato, I can't help that, Bato.
He calls me out on my headband because I'm always wearing it. I wash it.
Does anybody in the chat have any questions for Dan? Go ahead and put them in there. We'll be glad to address them. I think
we're running about on an hour now, so we're coming up on 9 minutes to an hour. So
yeah, I think between the interest in the Vikings and the paganism and the knowledge you have there, some of the alternative stuff that you're going to be reviewing, and then your style of beard reviews, and the finding these lesser known companies and stuff. I think it definitely adds value to your channel, and people should definitely go check it out because it's definitely a good watch.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I like showing the lesser known, guys, because like I said, they deserve their spotlight too, because I'm essentially a small guy in the community too.
Yep.
So
I think it'd be cool that once your channel starts growing, you start getting the grasp of it, start getting the hang of, doing videos constantly and stuff, kind of getting that Viking mentality and do reviews like that, add like a theme to it. You know what I mean? Give that viewer something to watch. I think that'd be really interesting to see. So
I have thoughts in my head on how I would like to do it. As Chris says, I'm in my Supermax prison cell.
I can see the brick wall behind you.
Supermax.
That'd be cool. I can't wait to see that. That'd be really cool to see. So.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. He's got some good ideas.
Yeah,
it's
time and money.
The camera outside a little bit.
Yep. That's another part of it is moving outside, because I live on 6.5 acres and about 3 of it is all woods. So I think it'd be cool to do some stuff out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite fast food?
Favorite fast food? Actually, I don't eat a whole lot of fast food. I guess you could consider like the burgers from Quick Trip as fast food. But as far as like McDonald's, Burger King, all that, I worked in that industry for a couple years, and if you like it, I'll just leave it alone.
I agree, Ken.
That is a good one though. Actually, Taco John's, I go Taco John's over Taco Bell.
I have one of those, maybe a block and a half from my house. I've never tried it.
I will say Taco John's potato Olays. I will go for those now.
Cool.
Taco John's is the closest thing to me, so I rarely eat Taco Bell, but I guess if there was 2 right next to each other, I'd probably go into the Taco Bell, honestly. So just because I never eat it. That's why.
Dan, I think we got invited to a dinner tomorrow night.
There you go.
Taco Bueno.
Oh, it's my sister. I plan to, D. I do plan to. I try to go to my dad's every Saturday night. Have
I assumed so. I
That's
assumed
cool.
that was, but yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, it's cool when family can get involved and kind of support and whatnot.
Yeah, my family situation. I've always wanted to be. I'm very family oriented, and they mean everything to me. So, and with the past year, Walt, a lot of what's happened for me. So I try to be there as much as I can.
Yeah. Life is short and fleeting, and things can change. Your world can turn upside down like that. Yep. So stay close to your family, because you only got one family, and might not like them all the time, but you love them, and you want to keep them around as much as you can.
Yeah. I feel bad because I don't feel like I do enough. But
I don't at all. I can tell you that. Not near enough.
Yeah.
For us being the men of the family, I think we all have that feeling. I mean, we could do everything that we possibly could till we're dead tired, and still wouldn't be enough for in our hearts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deal with that struggle every day. My wife works law enforcement, so she works a lot of doubles, a lot of late night shifts, random shifts here and there, and I do a lot of the stuff around the house, take care of the kids and all that stuff. I still don't feel like it's enough. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just talking to Mark the other day, and I was talking to him about taking pictures with the family. He was talking about some of the pictures that he takes on IG with his family, and I was just saying, that's probably why I'm not cut out to be a reviewer, honestly, because I always forget to bring my phone out and snap that picture, so it's just that's the matter of just grabbing it and doing it. So
Mark's a really cool guy.
Mark is awesome.
He is. Yeah, Mark's a good dude.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean by that, but sometimes you're so in that moment with things that your phone is the last thing from your mind.
Yeah.
So I always think of that too, like, damn, I should have got a picture of my daughter doing that or something like that. But it's like, you think of that after the fact. You're like, your phone wasn't, you were just enjoying that moment.
Yeah, no problem, Mark.
Well, Dan, thanks for joining us tonight. It was great having you on. Again, anybody in the chat, if you haven't checked out Beard.of.the.North, his YouTube channel, great content, really honest guy, shedding light on companies that you probably don't even know exist, which is really cool. So definitely check him out. That's for sure.
Website or his YouTube channel is pinned to the top of the chat. So if anyone wants to find it, go check it out.
Yep, that's right.
I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an honor to get to meet you, man. I see you a lot in IG, and I've never taken the time to personally get to meet you, so it was great to finally do that. So
Yeah, I see all your stuff too, and this, with your channel that you recently started, you've done quite well. I commend you for that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All the good stuff that everybody's doing.
We all kind of started around the same time. It's that struggle to get that first 100 or so, and it's work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Ryan's got some surprises in the works too.
I do.
Can't wait to see that.
Oh, I do have
Can't wait.
these little bad boys.
Hey, there you go. Bearded cheese. Very cool.
Awesome.
Right.
Very cool. Well,
out there.
I think that's it for me as far as questions. If any of you guys have questions for Dan?
No.
Nope. We're right about an hour in, so I think we can wrap it up. So thank you again, Dan. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Dan.
I enjoyed it.
And thank you everyone else for coming out and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And James Pershing's Pop-Tarts are his best fast food. So family's a close second.
Yeah, crack me up.
Thank you, guys. With regards, as always, we'll end this stream. Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend. Spend some time with family. Get out there and have some fun.
Yeah.
So we thank you all again for coming out. Thanks again for coming, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Later, everybody.